I don't want to talk about it, I want to show you. If we go to TikTok and we search misogyny, guess what we'll find? We'll find a bunch of videos defending women, and obviously they are going to attack men because this is the hate of all women. And to be honest, it makes sense. Now, guess what we'll find if we search for misandry, which is the hate of all men? We find a bunch of videos of women attacking all men. And if you don't believe me, let me just show you a few videos. And the crazy thing is that this is not 2 videos, it's 2 in 1,000. They are trying to say that misandry is justified because a lot of women have traumas and a lot of women suffered in the hands of a lot of men. Everyone on this planet has suffered immensely against a gender or a race. That's where discrimination comes. That's where racism happens. Or are we also going to try to justify that it's okay to be racist if you suffered a lot against black people? And what about articles? Misogyny versus misandry. One historically defined structure and one has not. And let's see more about what it has to say. Misandry then is woman's anger against their oppressors, and misogyny is man's anger against those they oppress. So we are now giving different descriptions and labels for the same action, which is the hatred of a whole gender. And the guy continues to say that only incels or male supremacists are against misandry because, again, is justified. It kinda reminds me of feminists that pretended to be a man for a year and a half and then killed herself afterwards. And like she said, women were treating her like trash just because she was a man. And obviously, I'm not saying that it's harder to be a man or harder to be a woman. We have different difficulties, but we need to help each other and we need to stop hating each other. The same way we cannot generalize all women, we cannot generalize all men. Otherwise, how would you feel if I said that that woman is crazy, therefore all of you are crazy? And I know for a fact it wouldn't feel nice. We have to stop being so immature. We have to stop being so childish. We have to stop going from the right to the left. You can also stay in the middle. You don't need to hate someone or be in favor of someone. You need to be a human being and think logically. This isn't any better than racism. It's exactly the same logic applied. You think that men are guilty just because they are men. Well, other people think that black people are guilty and thieves and they kill each other just because they are black. So how can you justify one and say that for the other one is okay? And what's the most common comment that women make in this topic? They say that the consequences of misogyny are much larger than the consequences of misandry, when they obviously haven't heard that suicides are 80% men and only 20% women. Deaths on the job are 99% men, and victims of a homicide or a violent attack are also mostly men. And should we also speak about the privilege that you have in court? When it comes to divorce, when it comes to children, when it comes to sentencing. And I'm not going to continue with this because for me, it's not a war. It's not gender against gender, it's normal people against delusional, traumatized kids. And the only advice that I can give for people that hate a whole gender or a whole race is to grow up.